This is my reading of the Namu Wiki page for Gamzee Makara. Homestuck of Alternia Troll, Aradia Catfish Prayer, Aradia Catfish Prayee are, Tavros Nitram, Solved Captor, Karkat Vantis, Nepeta Rayan, Kanaya Mariam, Terezi Pyrope, Vrisker Circuit, Equius is a Hack, Gamzee Makara, Eridan Amphora, and Feferi Peaches. Webcomic Homestuck character list. And now, for his profile. Name, Gamzee Makara. Age, Alternia Lift 6 sweeps arrow, 7.4 sweeps 2. Symbol, Capricorn, Capricorn emoji. Font color / lineage, purple. Trollian ID, terminally capricious, in parentheses, TC. Planet, land of tents and laughter. Style, Bard of Rage. Basic standing, talk sprite. Contents, outline, explanation, deformities, typing quirk. Course of action, Gamzee in the original timeline, Gamzee in an altered timeline, Gamzee on the candy route, personality, ability, human relationship, related song, etc. Outline, a character from Homestuck. It is the second troll to be introduced after Karkat Vantis. 2. Explanation. He writes in purple following the color of his own blood. The characteristics associated with clowns, such as wearing white clown makeup on his fac. Putting up devil-like clown posters in his room, and putting things such as unicycles, clubs, and horns are well revealed. Parenthesis, quotation mark. Appears to have originated from the tradition of Capricorn trolls. Gamzee's last name, Makara, is derived from Makara, which means Capricorn in Sanskrit. 3. Deformities. The deformity that takes care of Gamzee is a monster that resembles the bizarre shape of a Capricorn with the lower half of a fish and the upper half of a goat. And Gamzee is almost neglected. Gamzee's deformity is almost out of the sea without even the most basic common sense being taught him, and is indifferent enough to show his face a few times by chance. 4. Typing quirk. Gamzee has a typing quirk of alternating uppercase and lowercase letters, a double metaphor, all with 3 L's, the way like this. Because of this, it is difficult to read, as is the case with many troll chats, and Karkat Vantis once complained about this. In addition, the word honk, which honk in parentheses honk, like capitalized honk and then parentheses honk again with another parentheses, which represents the sound of a horn or a clown emoticon that expresses a clown face, is often used. And in particular, motherfucker is used in almost every sentence. Of course, it is a very severe curse with a meaning that is difficult to say, so further detailed explanations will be omitted. 6, 7. He also has a habit of frequently mentioning the word miracles. For Gamzee, the meaning of miracles is akin to the fantasies children have about magic. Maybe that's why Gamzee doesn't want to know about the technology or science. According to In Purple himself, oh fuck, I just went to Vriska's page. Yeah, according to is In Purple, it's also capitalized, purple comma, knowing something is like a damn thief taking away all miracles and underscore it space like a thief stealing magic underscore. Later, after his personality was twisted for some reason, he alternated between uppercase and lowercase letters in each sentence instead of letter by letter. If sentence A is written in all uppercase letters, then the next sentence, B, is written in all lowercase letters. 5. Course of action. The troll children also play the Sugrub game just as the human children played the Suburb game. Start the game. So, With other friends, Gamzee was playing the game smoothly. This article contains spoilers. It directly or indirectly contains the plot ending and reversal elements of the work or character described in this document. Shoo! Kneel! Motherfucker. Motherfucker is a link. It takes you to Equius. However, when the sleeping slime pie runs out, it turns black. As has been consistently mentioned, apparently, trolls are a very warlike race, and the higher the lineage, the stronger this violence is revealed. These traits have consistently been highlighted in Equius Zahak's reluctance to even think about what he would become without Nepeta Rayon, and Aaron and Ampora, S, a natural hatred of land-dwelling trolls. Gamzee also had a dangerous and dark personality that high-ranking bloodlines have, but this was not revealed because he was addicted to sleeping slime pie and was always in a drunken state. 8. As the game was played, Gamzee was no longer able to receive sleep slime, and eventually, all the remaining sleep slime pies fell off and gradually became awakened. It was Dave Strider who struck the decisive blow here, and he was enraged when he saw the Ionicine Clown Passy music video that he sent without thinking. After that, he started to look into little Carl's eyes in a drowsy state, and as a result, Gamzee's violent and dangerous personality awakens and becomes a very dangerous existence to other trolls. From this point on, Gamzee, who has become awake, starts altering lowercase and uppercase letters on a sentence-by-sentence basis, as if he was talking quietly in a chat, and suddenly screaming spasmodically. Spasmodically. That's a word. A sober Gamzee shows an overbearing attitude towards trolls of a lower rank than Equius, ordering them to kneel. That's in bold. Also, I don't know if it's because of his excellent physical ability or his dark personality when he opens his eyes, but he even kills a huge monster in bold with just 2 arrows. And then crossed out it says Munchkin. Munchkin. What? Karkat was the first to notice Gamzee's change. And even after being out of contact for a while, Gamzee contacted him via messenger again, and he had a conversation with him. At this time, Dr. Scratch speaks through Kanaya Mariam's computer in front of Karkat and says that in bold, "You should not turn your back on the corpse." At that message, Karkat looked back, and at that moment, oh my god, we're only a third of the way through, I can't read this whole thing. A message from Gamzee was sent to the computer behind him. Karkat said he was worried about where he had gone and expressed relief at being contacted again, but Gamzee kept typing the word hump. And when Karkat told him to stop, he said shut up, and understood what he was! They continue their conversation by saying, "Welcome to the festival, but it's terrifying." Karkat asked him not to do that several times, but Gamzee didn't listen. And the conversation ended as it was. Conversation video, happy list. What does this link to? It links to a YouTube video. The video is unavailable. Noticing these changes in Gamzee, Karkat warns his friends about Gamzee and asks Equius to stop him. In response, Equius tells Nepeta to hide in a safe place and sets out to find Gamzee. From here, Gamzee's fear is revealed in earnest, and as Nepeta moves through the vent in the work, rooms are sparsely visible beyond the iron bars, but in one room, "Are you next?" the words "smile" are written in the brown blood of Tavros, who was killed by Vert Iska. In addition, the cute background music originally laid out around stops the moment Nepeta starts moving to the vent, so the creepiness is multiplied. Meanwhile, Equius, who went to find Gamzee, encountered the corpse of a giant monster that died after being hit by 2 arrows. Gamzee picked up Terezi's glasses that had fallen on the floor. He encounters Gamzee. Equius thought he was Terezi because of the red glasses, but as he continued the conversation, he found out that it was not Terezi, but Gamzee, with an I. Gamzee consistently orders Equius to kneel! When Equius demands an explanation of the situation and does not obey, he shoots an arrow at Quius's knee and forces him to kneel. Then, he breaks the bow and strangles Equius with the bowstring, and, eventually, Equius suffocates laughing. That's a link? This is a link. Character who died laughing. This article contains spoilers. Obsessed with class and nagging Gamzee, he treated him as a higher class than himself and tried to follow him, as he's dead. But as a result, he was killed at the hands of Gamzee, who wanted to follow him. Nepeta, who was watching all of this from the air vent, jumped out and attacked Gamzee with a hook. You know, the pirate hook that Nepeta has. But was caught by her wrist and only the surf ace of her face obliquely. Only to injure it. G's tasteless expression. Who is G? His tasteless expression was shocking and frightening. Shock and awe. The concept of U.S. operations used during the Iraq War. It was not shown in detail like Equius, but when Gamzee reappeared later, he was apparently beaten to death. Gamzee, either that or no, I'm so proud of his transition. As the club was stained with Nepet A's olive blood, the gruesome murder of two of his mean friends is frightening enough, but even creepier is his obsession with dead bodies. Necrophilia. No, I don't think he did that. In fact, Gamzee only led Nepeta and Equius, but he took the corpses of these two, as well as the corpses of others he did not kill, put them in glass barrels, and even cut air throats and kissed them. Space. Period. This is evidenced by the brown blood of Tavros Nitraeum smeared on Gamzee's mouth when he later talked to Dave Strid. Space. Period. It is even creepier, considering the fact that Gamzee is feeling red love for Tavros. At this point, it is not exaggeration to say that he is a true psychopath. Anyways, later, Gamzee appears on the rooftop where Karkat, Terezi, Sala, X, Captor, and Kanaya are gathered, and here Karkat, who stopped the other children from fighting Gamzee, ran as if he was going to duel Gamzee all space, as if soothing a child. Put your finger on your mouth and shush it while patting it down. Pap! To calm Gamzee. Gamji. And this method works. And Gamzee regains stability, and Karkat and Gamzee form a Moirel relationship. Fans dubbed Karkat's soothing act Shush Pap. It has a history of committing terrifying things, and it ends so easily that it is absurd for them to run into each other as if they were going to have a big fight. And the result leaves the viewer at a loss for amazement. However, people seem to be more enthusiastic about this absurd ending. Is it okay like this? Even after returning to his senses, Gamzee took the corpses of Vriska Circuit and Solix that were left on the roof and disappeared somewhere again, hiding only after telling Karkat where he was. Even during this trip, she made a fuss. I'm so proud of her transition, such as mocking Terezi's eyes, but at least she didn't kill anyone. However, during these 3 years, Gamzee became more and more fanatical, and he cut off his morale with Karkat. Then, after the scratch phenomenon, it appears in front. It's now. I'm so proud of its transition. It's the 3rd time now. It appears in front of Jane, who became the Suburb Alpha player in the human universe. Here's an image of Gamzee. The scar left by Nepeta has healed, and he appears in a new stage, God Stage, costume that emphasizes the important parts of a man. Being a psychopath isn't enough. You're a pervert. It's actually the clothes that were in the Middle Ages. Cod pieces of... I'm not fucking reading all that. Because of this outfit, the Bard's position has earned the disgraceful nickname of X tier in Korea. What is X? Fuck. Fuck tier. Gamzee gives Jane Crocker unknown potions and encourages her to buy them. But we can tell that they are blood from the corpses of dead trolls, because they're all familiar colors. Also, when Jane refuses Gamzee's help, she opens the door of a large refrigerator, saying that she will introduce another guide, and inside it are the bodies of Vriska and Tavros. Gamzee combines the two corpses to create a sprite, aka Tavros Sprite. Sprite is a stopper. In fact, if these corpses had been stored until Jane reached her god stage, it would have been possible to bring all the trolls back to life. Thanks for saying. This is also a link. There's a link on a link. Power resurrection. Due to the fusion of the other two corpses, the resulting sprite became a merged reference state of the personalities of Vriska and Tavros. Thanks to this, the souls of Vriska and Tavros had a meltdown, but the waves of the two personalities didn't match. After that, the update on September 24th. He smelled of darkness, met Gamzee Makara, who was his ancestor's appearance before the scratches. Received a code piece from him. It disappeared again. Judging from the wounds on the face of her ancestor and descendant. Still proud of her transition. Still bleeding. She thinks she may have encountered Kurlaz right after Gamzee ran away with Vriska and Solix's corpse. And the last half of Act 6. He is taken by Caliborn and shot at. This just links to fucking Act 6 Intermission 4. But after all, he wondered if he would die! Seeing as he mentions that nothing can stop a clown, I don't think he'll die easily. However, at this point, a rice cake was raised. That Gamzee had not actually risen to the new stage! That's also true. To reach the god stage, you have to die on the quest bed. But there's never been a scene where Gamzee dies. It was later revealed to be a fake god tier. In other words, Gamzee has not awakened as a bard of anger. Should I say it's fortunate that I didn't awaken to an obvious negative class? Hi Gamzee, I'm so proud that you're giving your input on this Korean Google translated article. The dead Alternian trolls are then paired together to create sprites, which are then assigned to human children after the scratches. I made Aerosol Sprite. Thanks, Gamzee. A combination of Aerodin and Solix. Petita Sprite! Petita Sprite! A combination of Feferi and Nepeta. G feels something indescribable and sheds tears. It was later revealed that Gamzee was responsible for caring for the cherub fluid. Dude, that's your kid! Don't touch their fluid! Ew! Which is believed to be an ectobiological clone of Calliope and Caliban. Space period. Then, under the control of Arania Circuit, or Aranea, whatever the fuck it is, I don't fucking care, he steals the Ring of Life from John Egbert, and Arania became invincible. After Jake English awakens with the start of hope, he moves to the land of Frost and Frogs and meets Terezi, but there is no response even when Terra Z hits and stabs him like that. Like when he was shot by Caliborn, but he didn't die. Then, when Aranea's soul was about to be separated by the brain ghost Dirk. This links to the personality section of Dirk Strider's page. The mental control was released for a while. Stop beating. And when Terezi stopped beating, saying she was sorry, she made a grotesque expression as if she'd been fully woken up again and killed Terezi like a dog on a rainy day. He seems to have a good personality, but suddenly his attitude changes and says, bah! When you die like a madman. In the October 25th update, he kills Karkat, who is running towards him, but he's killed by Kanaya's chainsaw. However, he has a brilliant record of surviving being bombarded with bullets by Caliban, so it remains to be seen whether he really dies. In a later update, only half came out with Felt. And D, it is still unknown whether he is alive or dead. Gamzee in an altered timeline. In the timeline where John invaded, he was hiding behind Terezi. But when John honked, he was caught by Terezi, tied up and subdued with the horn in his mouth. After this, even in the scene where Terezi and Vriska confront each other, she comes out in a subdued state. It is not revealed what happened after this, but in Jade's flashback, Gamzee does not appear in the scene where Gamzee should have appeared. And the position of Alpha Kid's advisor has also been changed to Vriska. A locked fridge on Jake's planet With a recent update, it turned out to be imprisoned inside. Later, on Collide, Dirk's planet was involved in an explosion and presumed dead. If it is correct that he died, he becomes the only person who has died, by reaching the end of the game clear. At the end of the credits, Caliban is shown alive. I can't kill Gamzee. Can't take down the airman. Gamzee on the candy route. 6. Personality. Despite being a high-ranking troll with purple blood, he doesn't care about rank and has a gentle and carefree personality. In fact, other high lineage trolls, Eridan Amphora and Feferi Paichis, wear flashy accessories, while Gamzee wears casual clothes without any accessories. Because of this mal personality, not only what he does, but also when he speaks is erratic, and sometimes he makes remarks like he's drunk. Suck about. A term used by drug addicts to mean taking drugs. I'm not reading all that, man. The malformation was so indifferent to Gamzee that the only useful advice Gamzee received from his malformation was to stay away from the sea. Is this a link to the... It links to the page for the ocean. Because of this, Gamzee had no choice but to know the basic rules of life, and made sleep mucus into a pie at will, eventually causing him to beck. I'm addicted to it. As mentioned above, his deformity taught him no knowledge of society, so despite being of high bloodline, Gamzee is even more oblivious to the sure, old caste system. In many ways, he has a lot of wacky and geeky sides, but has a good personality. So he helps his friends for no reason, and if it's a friend's request he's his favorite Fago. He doesn't even eat soda drinks and sleep slime pies, a model of very exemplary and kind friend who sometimes listy Instu and comforts Karkat Vantage and Eridan when they complain about emotional problems. Even Equus Zahat, who cares about class, should act accordingly, as he is the noblest blood among land-dwelling trolls. He's usually good-natured enough to not get angry, even though he said something that could make you feel bad, saying that he's tainting your precious blood with sugary drinks and sleeping mucus. However, the above-mentioned good personality only appeared because he was addicted to sleep mucus. And when the sleep mucus fell, he was arced as a public enemy and openly revealed his violent tendencies enough to be certified as a psychopath. This is because he is a high-ranking age of purple blood, and the higher-ranking lineage in troll society shows more violence. Ability, title, Bard of Wrath. It appears to be able to enter some sort of berserker mode. In addition, in Act 6, Intermission 2, there was a scene where Terezi's anger was dispelled. Chuckle Voodoos. The ability to amplify psychological fear by causing a doll to appear in dreams. It is an ability that is useful for parent lineage, with a small number of individuals able to control a number of lower lineage, and each lower lineage is a voodoo doll of the higher lineage, in their dreams. Seeing that Kurlaws was able to control Mullen in Openbound, it seems that if you use the ability for a long time and become skilled or plant the doll long enough, you can brainwash it. Fetch modus. Miracle mode. Shareware for uploading and downloading files via FTP on the internet. Miracle mode. Unlike other characters in which capsule cards with a single color or simple pattern are arranged accordingly to a certain role, this guy's is just a pile of all kinds of cards. The color also changes randomly. He says he doesn't even know how it works, and he doesn't even want to know. As a bonus, the color was evaluated as beautiful. If you remove one object, another object will protrude out strongly, so Gamzee picked it up with his hand safely to take out the laptop. Weapons of war, Strife specify. Clubs, like a clown. He uses a pair of juggling clubs. However, later on he appears using the Joker-type weapon, Zillyhoo's Battle Hammer. 8. Human relationship. Because of his free-spirited mindset, how much fucking longer is this? Okay, it's not that much more. Because of his free-spirited mindset, Gamzee maintains good relations with all of the trolls. Gamzee considers Karkat Vantis his best friend and always cares about him, regardless of Karkat's swear words. Karkat also reacts worried that Gamzee might be hurt when he disappears, even thinking that he should go find him. Oh, I'm so proud of his transition. admitting that he thinks of Gamzee as a best friend, just as he thinks of himself. Later, she built. So proud of Karkat's transition. Moi Rail. Capitalized Moi hyphen capitalized Rail. In a way to calm Gam hyphen Z's violent personalities. But as revealed in the recent series, the Moi Rail relationship between the two trolls ended a long time ago. According to the story, Gamzee cut it off due to the influence of Caliban. Gamzee also has a strong friendship with Tavros Nitram, as shown by the fact that Tavros speaks in a particularly relaxed and soft tone when talking to Gamzee. The two show off their closeness by calling each other brothers, and play while copying each other's faces. These two make up rap lyrics to each other on a fictitious day and play together. But this rap is like a beggar. It is not a subjective impression, but it is mentioned as such in the original work. These two even end up being the worst rapping duo in another universe. Gamzee once confessed to Pesterchum that he felt a red love for Tavros, and he told Tavros that after all of this, we should come over to his house and relax together. In bold. Let's see the back. A drip that suggests sexual intercourse between men from a scene in Berserk. What? Oh no! No! Oh! However, because Tavros was confused about his feelings after hearing Gamzee's confession, Gamzee could not hear a definite answer. In other words, Gamzee's one-sided feelings, faux or now. However, even Gamzee, who has a good personality, has a negative opponent, none other than Dave Strider. It all started when Dave showed the music video for Einstein Clown Facies Insane Clown Facies song Miracles. Gamzee, watching his music video, is blasphemy! He looks very angry. Gamzee's anger for the first time in the story even harbors kiss me size feelings towards Dave. Of course, this incident exploded in the yard when the sleeping slime pie was running out, and in the end it caused a very terrifying thing. So it can be seen that the source of all evil is Dave. The root of all evil. Through a conversation with Rose Lalonde, well, no, that's actually just how you spell that, it's revealed that he has a kismesis relationship with Terezi Pyroth. And if Karkat knew this, he would not leave him alone. Even though that was not enough, she constantly inflicted psychological pain onto so proud of her transition, and made her mentally collapsed by intoxicatan with Fijo. Terezi hates the relationship, but it's like a drug. Withdrawal symptoms cause her to come back to Gamzee. 9. Related song. Homestuck Volume 6, Air Transparent, Dark Heart. Homestuck Volume 7, At the Price of Oblivion, Festival. Homestuck Volume 8, Disaster. Alternia. Miracles. Alternia Bound. Midnight Calliope, Dark Heart with Horn. Colors in Mayhem, Universe A. Purple Minstrel 10, etc. He is so proud of her transition, reminiscent of the Joker in the Batman series, who runs the extreme of being a freak and a psycho, and is one of the characters who clearly tells why clowns are scary. Among the Homestuck characters, Madness is by far the highest peak, and he is enjoying high popularity in the fandom. It is responsible for the popularity of Homestuck, but since the action during the work is a matter of action, there are many antis. In particular, it is not popular in Tumblr, but it is very powdered. To sum it up, Gamzee is a character who is very popular, but whose likes and dislikes are extremely divided. Thanks to his nature. In the latter half, there are a lot of secondary creations related to it, although not described in the original work among fans. He is often portrayed, so proud of his transition. He is often portrayed as feeling guilty and regretting what he does and returning to his senses. In reality, it is unknown how much Gamzee reflected or regretted what he had done, but Gamzee's usual personality is mild, and he knows how to think of his friends. So he seems to be portrayed as regretted that much. However, his madness when he kills his friends is also popular, and there are many fan arts related to Gamzee, whose dark personality has awakened. So it often happens that he is surprised to see Homestuck fan arts. Because of so proud of his transition, Because of this, people who don't know about Homestuck see the fan art of the latter and think that Gamzee is a crazy guy like the Joker. When they see peaceful appearance drunk on a sleeping slime pie, i.e. the beginning, they are confused. I'm not reading that one. That one's about them fucking. It even came out as a side leg. What the fuck is a side leg? What? This site can't be reached. I think this just links to a gay porn site. As an aside, Insane Clown Fantasy is an actual horrorcore hip-hop duo, and Juggalo means their fan club.